Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're finally getting back around to classic Doctor Who. If you saw, I reviewed the Doctor Who movies based on a few of the episodes from Hartnell's era. Go check those reviews out. They're in the same video. And obviously, I'm back today to talk about episode 24, The Keys of Marinus, The Snows of Terror. This is the fourth episode in the Keys of Marinus story. And what I said is this was a good episode with a lot of cringy and poor choreograph work, but ultimately I had a good time. So spoilers ahead, of course. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and be sure to go check these episodes out for yourself. We have like 13 episodes left until we wrap up William Hartnell's first season, and then we're gonna hopefully move on to his final 2 seasons. Enjoy the video and see you in the future. Goodbye. So this this episode basically was them, arriving in the cold, hypothermia weather, no hope of survival, and immediately being saved. I think they collapsed and then they were saved by this big dude who kept them in the cabin. And ultimately, more secrets were being revealed as the episode went on. He had basically come across every survivor, so he'd sentenced Sue and the girl to the caves in the mountains where they would freeze but not die. The guy, he was told to go elsewhere, and he was keeping things in his possession as trade for warmth to wrap around them, and he ultimately had passed out way down the path where obviously the wolves would be able to kill him. They'd tricked Ian into bringing a bag full of raw meat. And yeah, this guy was just constantly playing with them. He was sentencing them to death, and it led to a few different poor choreographed scenes. As I said, Ian comes back, figures out what's going on, and the fight at the door. This guy should be able to take out Barbara, no problems, and ultimately he starts just hitting him and manages to get the door open. It was some cringy fighting. The scene where they go into the cave and everyone's reunited, the bridge, and then somehow they got the bridge back up later. That didn't make a lot of sense. There was the knights. I knew they were alive the entire time, and then there was bits where they were walking slow, but then they started going really fast. There was just scenes that didn't really make sense. Ian's courageousness to fight back against all four knights was brilliant. The awkward scene when Sue was slowly going across the bridge, well, the made bridge that Ian and the guy had put together, and she's just like, they're just like, Susan. It's just like, it's just a weird facial expression she's making, and she's just sliding us out. It was just really weird to watch. But then she somehow gets the bridge up, which had been thrown down, so it wasn't reachable by anyone. So that didn't make any sense. And what is the weird thing about this episode? The Doctor hasn't appeared in like 3 episodes now, or is it 2 episodes? Yeah, I think he appeared in the first and second one, obviously, and then it's weird because I don't know if William Hartnell was having issues in real life, or they just simply didn't need him. But the think they're going to be meeting in the next episode, because at the end of the episode, Ian was knocked out, framed for a robbery, and then the key was robbed, and then the next episode he's going to be sentenced to death. I think the episodes are good. It's just some things that are very cringy. Not cringy, but like the fighting is just very what? But it's very 60s, which I love and enjoy. Ian Chesterton just carries these episodes. Barbara was okay. I love the guy and the girl, they're cool. And then Susan's just, he just screams at random things. It's like, why are you screaming? That's why I enjoy the little girl in the films a lot better than her, because she seems more like a grown up, whereas this Susan seems like a 2-year-old who screams every scenario, doesn't know how to deal with it. So ultimately a good episode. It's driving the story forward. They got the key, the guy in the cabin ended up dying, and somehow the knights caught up with them, even though the bridge was destroyed. Yeah, it's some things don't make sense, but then they ultimately got through the door and then they vanished, and then I think they've been split up again. As I said, Ian was knocked out. And then we'll have to wait and see where the other 4 characters are. But yeah, I'm having a blast with Doctor Who season 1. I think William Hartnell I really wish he was involved with these episodes because he is the highlight of Doctor Who. He's just brilliant. He's just an excellent actor, and I think he drives the first Doctor forward. But to have Ian Chesterton as the main character and having it being in charge of the group and leading them forward, it's been a blast. So I can't wait to see what the final 2 episodes of this arc hold. And then there's 2 arcs left, and then we wrap up season 1. So, quick thing, Marco Polo review will be coming eventually in the future. I have the book still to read, so stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're enjoying Doctor Who Season 1, and let me know down below your thoughts. Subscribe and like. Goodbye.